Hey guys, FluxJelly here, bringing you guys another Starcraft 2 commentary. This game is going to be between sixjaxVIBE, the greens are spawning at the bottom right, and ToD, the blue Protoss, spawning the top left position here on darim Altar. This game is actually played on Battle.net, but it wasn't a ladder game because there are specs, so I don't know if it was part of a tournament or if it was just, a random practice game. But nonetheless, just a word of warning before we do get in this game. I know, as you guys probably have noticed, I've been pretty sick lately. I've been a little bit stuffed up and hardly been able to breathe. So hopefully I'll get over this pretty soon. Just bear with me in the meantime. But yeah, darim Altar, it's a pretty good map for PvZ. There's a lot of bases. I mean, you're never going to mine out all these bases, so that means the game should stay relatively high paced for the most part. A fast expanding Zerg does have to watch out though, because Protosses do tend to go forge fast expand, and we do see that forward pylon going down from ToD, so we are probably going to see a forge fast expand out of him as well. And when they do that build, they can actually come down here, and if you fast expand, they can pylon off your I guess your choke point right here, and make it impossible for you to get to your natural. Put cannons behind it, keep you in your main, and then you can't actually keep this natural up and running, and they'll get a huge advantage out of it. So you do have to be careful about that. Putting a drone patrolling there is pretty good against that. We do see ToD did scout the wrong way, but he is going to find Vibe here. Vibe's actually a really good Zerg player. I don't really know much about ToD because I haven't really seen him, but Vibe is a really, really good Zerg player. He's really high on the North American GM ladder, so this should be a pretty good game right here. So we do see the drone going out now to drop down that hatch, so that is a 15 hatch. Before pool, he does have that other drone out to scout. He does see the probe. This Overlord is pretty important. He just has to make sure that there's no pylons getting put down right here. So he can, if he sees the rare, he can pull some drones and deal with it efficiently. The forge is down. We should be seeing a cannon going out soon from ToD. He doesn't actually have a probe out there yet. But a forge fast expand is a really good build for Protoss. I mean, it lets them get up a really good economy really fast. They can just chrono boost probes, build a lot of cannons, not really worry about having to make that many units, and get a huge economy, and then make a really big push. It's what a lot of Protosses end up doing on big maps like this. And it's really hard to hold off as a Zerg. You pretty much do have, I guess, three options. You can either try to Ling Roach all in, which is decent on this map, but not great. This is a pretty small choke. You can take a really fast third, which is really hard here because you have rocks to break down, so you can take this one instead. Or you can tech off 2 base, go Infester or something like that, and just deal with their timing attack. So, kind of curious to see what Vibe is going to do here. His pool is done, and his hatch is done as well. We do have Gateway going down for ToD right now, and a cannon, so he is going to be walling this off here. I don't really see a Ling Roach all-in coming out of Vibe, just because he doesn't have a gas yet. Normally you'd want to have that gas up now if you were going to go Ling Roach. So we're gonna he's probably going to end up taking a third, I think. That's what it kind of looks to me. He doesn't seem to want to be teching very fast, so he seems to be droning up pretty hard, which is a really good call. Idra does that a lot when he plays against Protoss with that fast expand. He'll grab a third and get a huge economy and a really big army, and then he'll be able to deal with their push pretty easily, and then just have a better economy than them and overrun them eventually. So we do have a probe coming out here for ToD. He's going to be poking around a little bit, grabbing the watchtower. I guess he's checking for a third over here. In the meantime, we do have Vibe coming over here, knocking down these rocks, so he's probably going to try to grab a third. A really good strategy that a lot of Zergs do here is, where it does take so long to break down the rocks, they'll actually put a macro hatch right here. I actually do this myself. They'll put a macro hatch right here while these rocks are getting broken down, so you can kind of mine from here, and then as soon as this goes down, put down your actual fourth hatch, because you are going to need a macro hatch anyway. So you might as well put it right here and get some extra mining out of these mineral patches here. So we'll see if Vibe does do that. We do have a pylon going down here from ToD, so he looks like he's going to be really annoying trying to do some warp gate play. Looks like he's actually going to put another one up here. So yeah, so he's going to have 2 pylons up right now, so he's probably going to end up trying to warp in some zealots or something just to harass some mineral lines. His cyber core is now just finished, so warp gate is pretty far away. We do have a stalker coming out right now to deal with this drone that is poking around right here. So yeah, that drone won't live very long as soon as that stalker pops out. A lot of info though getting for Vibe. He knows that there's 2 gas down. He can see the saturation. He knows what kind of wall there is. So he can pretty much make an idea out of what ToD's going to be trying to do here. We do actually have the probe right here now, so I don't know if he's going to let this get picked off by Lings or not. He's actually throwing another pylon down right here. Very, very wild use of pylons. He's letting a lot go on the map, and if they all get picked off, he has to remember that he has to have supplies, so he does have to make extra pylons if they do start to get picked off, because this one's really close. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vibe found this one. Now that probe is going to go into the main here and see if we can get some scouting in. In the meantime, we do have an Evo going down for Vibe and a Roach Warren, and we have a Twilight Council going down for ToD. So possible Blink Soccer play coming out. A lot of Protosses will do that. They'll go do this Forge Fast Expand build and then go into 6-gate Blink, which is a really good build, and it's really hard to hold off. It's actually why they had to increase the build time on Blink, just because it was such a strong push in the early game against Zerg. So yeah, so like I said, that hatchery going down right here didn't actually do much, but it is gone down right here. That is the macro hatch. He's going to put another hatchery right here. So that is kind of what I was talking about. He didn't really put it down very early, so it's not going to really get much benefit out of it. But that is the idea. If we look at the income tab right now, we do have a fairly even game. It's 40-40, 13 more drones about to pop for Vibe, and actually a Dark Shrine going down right now for ToD, so he's going to be doing some Dark Templar warp-ins, and this is going to be pretty big right here if oh wow, a Spore actually going down from sixjaxVIBE. Like he read his mind. I guess he saw the Twilight, and I wonder if he did see that Twilight. No, he didn't even see the Twilight, just blindly throwing down spores, so really, really good gut instinct right there from sixjaxVIBE, knowing there's probably going to be some Dark Templar shenanigans at some point, or even Stargate, so he did throw down those spore crawlers. Really, really smart right there, and he's going to get really lucky there if the Dark Templar actually do get warped in. Warp Gate is done now, and the Dark Shrine is almost finished, so it looks like ToD's going to be trying to warp in some Dark Templar right here, and even maybe right here. I would like it if he put this pylon over here more, and then kept his probe alive. I guess it would be hard because these overlords are here, but he could have warped some DTs up in here, gone into the main, but I guess he'll just warp them in here and run into the natural. But again, he's going to run into these spore crawlers, so I don't think the Dark Templar are going to do that much damage, and they're actually being warped in right now, so they're running into the third base here, but there is a spore down, so I don't expect they'll do much damage. The Lings actually do see that Dark Templar. He does run away, but two more are running into the natural right here. No spore down at the bottom, though, so that he could have a little opening to get in right there, but he is running up top, and there is a spore there, so these Dark Templar could get caught right here. And no, they'll actually get away, but they did absolutely no damage. Another spore going down in the front just to see those Dark Templar. And over here, this Dark Templar getting a couple kills on a couple Lings. And a Queen actually going down right here. And I was actually going to try to run into the main with those Dark Templars. This could be really good. Is there a spore in the main? Yes, there actually is a spore in the main. So I don't think he's going to be able to do much damage with this either. And yeah, this Dark Templar actually going to get taken out as well as this one getting surrounded by drones. So yeah, two Dark Templar going down there and not doing any damage with them. So that could be really bad for ToD. It's going to put him a little bit behind, and actually another DT getting taken out. No, it just barely gets away right there with 10 health left. So a couple of DTs going down from ToD, which he actually didn't do any damage with either, so that's going to put him a little bit behind. sixjaxVIBE knows exactly what kind of tech path he took right now. The Forge actually getting taken out up here. I don't really agree with that. I think he should have taken out the Cyber Core, but nonetheless, he did have to take out that Forge because he did fully wall himself in. And a pylon going down right there just to make that choke a little bit smaller. Looks like he's going to go try to grab his third right now. He's going to knock down these rocks. In the meantime, sixjaxVIBE running around with his Lings, trying to scout out those pylons. He did see this one, but he didn't actually get a chance to kill it because the DT was there to protect it. So an Overseer now coming in. He's going to be able to take out this pylon pretty easily. He does see this one as well, but he hasn't actually tried to take it out yet, so I guess he just hasn't really realized it's there yet. The Lings are going out to take out this pylon right now, though, and this is what I mean. ToD has to remember that, look at his supply. He's going to have 2 pylons gone right now, so he has to start building more. He does have 3 on the way, and he is actually going into Robo. So he's going to be trying to go for Colossus here. Not sure if he's going to get Blink. He didn't add it on yet. Blink Stalker Colossus is actually a really strong army composition. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does start throwing that down. Armor now on the way for ToD. He does have +1 attack. And in the meantime, we do have +1 attack, missile attack coming from sixjaxVIBE. I should be looking to grab a 4th really soon. He is really saturated here at his 3rd. So he is probably going to grab this 4th down here. Looks like he's going to try to bring some Lings in just to deal with this pylon. A Dark Templar being warped in, but I do think the Lings are still going to get this pylon. This Dark Templar is going to get a couple kills, though, so a couple Lings are going to go down. The pylon does go down, and the Dark Templar gets 5 kills, so pretty even trade right there. 5 Lings for a pylon is pretty good. And actually that Overseer now coming in, so he's going to get this Dark Templar as well, so that's a really pretty good win there. That's a lot of gas being invested by ToD into these Dark Templar, and he's lost a lot of them. So, yeah, losing your gas as a Protoss is not what you want to do, just because you need the gas to get those really high-tech units like the Colossus and stuff like that. So, yeah, you don't really want to lose that many gas units. We do have a big-time oversaturation here at the main, though, for ToD. He does have to transfer some probes down here ASAP, or he's going to mine out his main so fast. Even with his natural is really, really full, too. I mean, look at that. Look at that saturation. It's like 26 drones on minerals. That's a lot of drones. You don't need that many. You want to have, like, I'd say 16 or 18 to 20, thereabouts. And I mean, so he could take a lot of these drones and bring them over here, or probes, and then instantly saturate this third, which he's probably going to end up doing. This fourth actually going down for VvIBE, but it's being picked up by Dark Templar, so he's going to have to cancel that, or he's going to lose the hatchery. And is he going to actually cancel it in time? Yeah, he does actually cancel that, so he didn't lose the entire cost of the hatchery there. These Dark Templar are being really pesky, denying that fourth, but this one is actually going to get taken out as well. So again, a lot of gas getting lost here, and I mean, all he did with that Dark Templar was force a cancel on the hatchery and kill a couple lings. So I don't really think it's actually worth it in the long run. But he did deny that fourth a little bit, so you can take that out of it. And we actually do have Overlord drop now from sixjaxVIBE, so I don't know what he's going to do with that. He's getting Infestors as well, and his +2 missile lane does have Baneling, so we could see some Baneling drops. That'd be pretty cool. They did actually recently get nerfed, though, just because you can't, when you drop a Baneling into a group of units, it actually gets dropped on the outside instead of right in the middle, so it won't actually hit the entire group, which, I don't know, I thought Baneling drops were so cool, and they should have left it the way they were. But I guess I'm a little bit biased, seeing as how I'm a Zerg player. But anyway, a lot of Banelings getting morphed in right now. 25 Banelings getting morphed in. And wow, that is so many Banelings. And let's see the army comp from ToD. We do have a lot of Zealots. That's a pretty Zealot-heavy army. And with those Infestors, he can fungal the Zealots and then just drop all the Banelings on him. And another Dark Templar coming in here. Going to get picked off by Lings again. So a lot of Dark Templar going down here from ToD. He's really throwing away a lot of resources here. I mean, that's like 6 or 7 Dark Templar he's lost right now. So that is just really, really, really expensive. So yeah, like I was saying, the Infestors can fungal these Zealots in place, and the Banelings can just shred them. And then that leaves only Colossus and a couple Stalkers left. So this is going to be a really, really interesting engage if he does decide to go for the Baneling drops. And we do have all the Banelings loaded up into the Overlord, so this is going to be a really interesting attack. Lings and Roaches and Infestors also along on the way, and you do have an Overseer. 2 Overseers, actually, just in case of those Dark Templar. If we look at the army counts, they're fairly even. I mean, sixjaxVIBE is up by 10, but if you look at the income tab, he's only up 1 drone, so I guess it is pretty even. The Protoss having a little bit of a smaller army, but then again, Protoss armies are a lot stronger than Zerg armies when they're maxed, so I do think the Protoss should probably come out on top here if he controls this right. A couple Dark Templar, or High Templar I should say, and the back of the army as well. Not enough. One has enough energy for storms, so that could roast a lot of Lings if he storms. And there's the fungal, and all the Banelings getting dropped on the Zealots. Wow, all the Zealots just melting into those Banelings. So much damage being done, and still Banelings left, taking out the Stalkers. One Colossus goes down, another Colossus looks like it's about to go down. Yes, it actually does go down there. So the Roach is doing a lot of damage here, and all the army for ToD just got taken out, and sixjaxVIBE instantly remaxed. So now he's in a great position here to do a lot of damage. He could run around to the third and hit that. He's actually shuttling his Roaches into the naturals, so this is actually really, really aggressive from VvIBE. Taking out a lot of units here. Look at all the Zealots just coming in and getting instantly melted by the Roaches with +2 attack. +2 attack doing so much for Roaches. I mean, look at that. It gives them extra 4 damage. So, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. 4 damage is a lot, especially when you have this many Roaches. And a couple of Infestors just staying here, getting picked off by Dark Templar and Zealots, so that's a little bit of a loss right there. But the Roach is coming back, and they are going to pick off these Dark Templar. It looks like they're going to try to. These Overseers are morphing in right now. The other 2 did get taken out. So yeah, the Dark Templar also get picked off, and there's an Archon morphing in. That's also going to get taken out. So, wow. sixjaxVIBE doing so much damage here. This could actually end the game. I mean, this is critical damage to the Protoss. They cannot remax as fast as a Zerg, and if you look at the army count here, he's ahead by 70 food almost, so I mean, that's almost insurmountable at this point in the game. The Roaches are just coming in and just keeping them busy, doing a lot of damage, picking off units, keeping the army count low, while more units are just streaming in from every single base that sixjaxVIBE took. And I mean, it does look like the Protoss is starting to hold this off, but I think the damage has been done at this point. He hasn't actually done any eco damage, which is good for the Protoss, but his army is just so much bigger at this point, and he is getting that Greater Spire with the Corruptor, so we are going to see some Broodlords, and a lot more drones being produced. That's a lot of drones. That's going to be 91 drones for sixjaxVIBE. You don't want to really get that many drones just because it makes your maxed out army really, really weak. We do have a lot of Lings and Roaches left, and that is actually looks like it is going to pick off this army if it can get a surround on it. A couple Stalkers getting caught. Are they going to be able to blink up onto the high ground? Yeah, they are going to be able to blink out. Only one getting picked off there. A couple Zealots getting picked off. Zealots at this point are pretty expendable for the Protoss. He just wants to keep the Zerg army at bay while he gets a higher army count out. VvIBE is actually now running around to the third. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that much damage because there is a really nice wall here and a cannon behind it, so he probably should be able to defend this pretty easily. He's going to be able to pick at this Roaches out of the range of this cannon if he wants to, but he actually is going to decide to kill the cannon. But there is a Colossus here and a lot of Templar, so there shouldn't be much damage done here. VvIBE should be pulling out. Yeah, there he goes right now. He doesn't really want to lose too much of his army there. And a 4th base going down here for ToD at the left position here. So he's going to be trying to keep up in bases here. As we do see Vibe grabbing, it looks like a 5th and 6th base here. So they're not actually saturated yet. But he should be manning drones over there fairly soon. A lot of Broodlords coming out right now. If we do see, he does have 9 Broodlords on the way. So that is a lot of Broodlords. And Broodlords are so good against Protoss army like this if there's no Void Rays. Just because Storm doesn't do enough damage. Blink Stalkers get picked off by everything. And the Broodlords just sit over the army and just melt the whole thing. So this is going to be a really, really potent force right here from Vibe. He does have some Infestors along with those Broodlords and a couple of Roaches. So this is going to be a really, really, really strong engage. And you can see his army count is still 40 supply ahead of the Protoss. His upgrades aren't actually as good. He does have 1 less armor upgrade, which is going to work against him a little bit. But I think at this point it's going to be fairly it's not going to matter that much just because, I mean, his army count is so much higher, and he does have the Broodlords. So we do see now the Broodlords are moving in. They're starting to engage. A Storm going down the Broodlords. You don't want to let your Broodlords get Stormed just because it does add up after a while. Big Fungals there going down in the army. The Colossus is shooting away at all the Lings. All the Lings are melting, but the Broodlords are doing so much damage from up above. The Broodlings are staying alive, and they're just picking apart everything. Most of the Stalkers are gone down at this point. This Colossus has no defense now, so this is going to get picked off. And a couple of Stalkers are left, but I mean, it's only 6 Stalkers. They are not going to be able to pick off any amount of Broodlords. The Broodlords just melt the Stalkers so quick. This Colossus is going to go down here, and this natural here is going to be starting getting shelled from the Zerg player. He does have a lot of probes here still too, so if he gets any damage done here, it's going to be pretty big. The Broodlords are actually backing up though. He's going to wait for reinforcements because he did lose a lot of Roaches there and a couple of Broodlords, so he wants to keep his army count fairly high. And as we see, he's ahead by 90 food at this point, so this is a really insurmountable lead, I do think myself, just because any army that's 100 food stronger than yours is obviously going to be a lot more potent, and you're not going to be able to defend it. The Broodlords are actually starting to pick away at these cannons here at the 4th. A couple of Templar are here, but they aren't going to be able to do enough damage to the Broodlords. Roach is now running in as well, so that Archon is not going to get morphed. It's going to get picked off. And Stalker's coming from behind, actually, so they are going to try to pick off a couple Broodlords. The Broodlords are fairly low, so they are going to get a couple of them. They might actually get them all if he blinks away. And, oh, the burrow from the Infestors there to stay away from the feedback from the High Templar, which does get picked off. Really good multitasking there by Vibe, controlling this army really, really well. Now there's pretty much no defense here at this 4th. It's going to be free for the picking here. It's going to be picked off pretty quick. A couple Dark Templar are getting warped in, but there's Overseers overhead, so they're not going to be able to do any damage. I do expect a GG here any minute. And yeah, there's a GG from ToD. So, really great game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more.